Hey, what's up, yo? It's your favorite rapper, Crazy Cassie, and I'm hosting this episode on the Hurricane of Football podcast. And today's episode it's very interesting, About to talk about one of the legends in the game, one of the greatest players of all time. That's what we're coming to talk about today. And so, buckle up and let's dive into the episode. So people tend to call Ozil the genius who never reached his full potential. I personally disagree. I don't know about you, but let me know in the comment sections. Now let's dig into this. Ozil was the type of football player who made people fall in love with the game. Not because he was the fastest, not because he was the strongest, not because he scored the most goals, but because he saw football differently. A player who could receive the ball surrounded by defenders and somehow find the teammates nobody else noticed. He was the type of player who could make a 40-yard pass look very easy. And he didn't seem to play at the same speed as everyone else, but somehow he knew what was going on and was always a step ahead. When Ozil was at his peak, he wasn't just, creating chances and all that. He was creating moments. Like he was actually making us, fall in love with the game. Come on, Ozil was a legend. But as we all know, football hasn't been friendly with talented players because of the fans and the expectations. I mean, when you're so talented like Ozil was, they just expect so much from you. They don't just talk about your achievements or your accomplishments. They judge you by what they think you could have done, and that is something I honestly think it's unrealistic. It's very unrealistic. That's why Ozil's career is being debated. People keep talking about him not reaching his full potential, and I, for one, I strongly disagree. Because at his peak, he was a beast. And I don't know what else you expected from him or what more you wanted him to do, but I think he has done everything. You know what? Let's just dive into some of the things he did, his whole story, and let's see if he has reached his full potential or not. Ozil's gameplay wasn't about physical dominance. Instead, it was built on pure intelligence. I mean, he understood spacing, movements, he understood timing. All these sets of skills made him very special. His passes are very incredible. They are just not random. They are very, very calculated. Now let's talk about his journey. After making his name at SV Werder Bremen and impressing at the 2010 World Cup, Ozil became one of Europe's most wanted young talents. Then came the biggest move of his career. Real Madrid. The pressure was enormous, the expectations were high, but Ozil didn't just survive, he became one of the most exciting attacking midfielders in the world. Playing alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, he became the creative engine behind one of the deadliest attacks in Europe. In football, there's one achievement that separates careers, the World Cup, and Ozil achieved it. In 2014, Germany lifted the trophy in Brazil. The team was filled with incredible talent. They had Thomas Müller, Toni Kroos, Bastian Schweinsteiger. There was a whole lot of talents there. A generation that finally delivered on the biggest stage. Ozil wasn't the star of the tournament. He wasn't the player everyone remembered first, but he played his part. And becoming a World Cup winner is something many legends never experienced. I'm not pointing fingers, but actually. CR7. Ozil made a huge move to Arsenal in 2013. The transfer shocked everybody, Arsenal had just signed a superstar, a player who represented everything the club loved: creativity, technique, beautiful football. Fans were happy. Fans were very excited for that signing. For them, it wasn't just a regular signing, it was hope. They believed that he could be the player to take Arsenal back to competing for major trophies. And at his best, he showed exactly why he was the man. He became one of the most gifted players ever to wear an Arsenal shirt. His performances against the big teams like Manchester United, Manchester City showed his quality. And let's not forget, he won the FA Cup. But something changed. They just expected more from him, and so the questions kept on coming and coming until the relationship between Ozil and Arsenal eventually collapsed. After signing a huge contract extension in 2018, expectations became even higher. But his performance declined, the team changed, the managers changed. I mean, his role was very small under Unai Emery and even smaller under Mikel Arteta. He was eventually left out of the squad. For someone who was once the face of the team, watching from the outside is very sad and heartbreaking. Speaking of heartbreak, there was a controversy that ended his international career and eventually forcing him to retire altogether. After disappointing in the 2018 World Cup, he was involved in one of the biggest controversies of his career. Before the tournament, he was photographed with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan alongside teammate Ike Gudogan. Questions were raised about loyalty, identity, and politics. Ozil faced a heavy backlash, especially after Germany were eliminated from the World Cup. Ozil later accused the German Football Association and the media of unfair treatment and racism, saying he felt German when the team won, but was treated differently when they lost. This eventually led Ozil to announce his retirement from international football. And now the debate is, did Ozil waste his talent? Because saying Ozil failed is wrong. A failed player doesn't win a World Cup, play for Real Madrid, become one of the best creators in Europe, win major trophies, produce some of the most beautiful assists football has ever seen. Mesut Özil will always be one of football's biggest what ifs. Not because he wasn't successful, but because football fans saw something rare. A player who could create magic with one touch. A player who made football look effortless. A player who reminded everyone that intelligence and creativity are just as powerful as speed and strength. Maybe Ozil wasn't a wasted talent. Maybe he was a genius who lived in a football world that eventually moved away from players like him. But one thing will always remain. When Mesut Özil had the ball, you watched because you knew something special might happen. I would love to know what you guys think in the comment section. Share your thoughts and don't forget to like, share the video, subscribe and turn on the notifications to get more exciting episodes like this. As you already know, it's your boy Crazy Casey, your favorite rapper, and I'm out.